Good job. Right. Uh, I'm going to run this purely for the new guys, so the old guys will just have to sit through it all. We do run our K3 slightly different to the NATOPS for the simple reason there are so many differences between our facilities and a full carrier group. So what we've done is we've pared it down so that it's within our capabilities to run as just a squadron exercise. Okay. So case 3 is nighttime or foul weather, where you cannot get a good visual acquisition of the ship and landing. Okay, so that's usually claggy weather, bad rain, or whatever. You will always have a headwind on landing because they will turn the ship into the wind deliberately so that you don't have to fight a crosswind on landing. So you don't have to worry about crosswinds in case 3s, 2s, or 1s. The general idea is that we stack you safely away from the aircraft at a height outside the critical traffic movement, which is going to be as you approach the back of the carrier. Okay, the idea is that you come into that at reasonable separation so that there is plenty of time for somebody to go round once, and if that fails, if you go round once, you get a bolter first time. If you've got the fuel, you'll be sent around again because people in the stack will be given a commence time, and obviously that has to be taken into account. So air traffic wise, it can get quite complicated. If you don't make the landing, you can go round one more time, and then after that, unless I've got the space to fit you in, I will have to push you back out to the stack and bring you back into another gap with another commence time. So it's very important that you make sure you've got a minimum of £4,500 of fuel when you arrive at the stack. If you haven't got that, then obviously there'd normally be a tanker up and you'd have to go to the tanker first and then report to the stack. So the difference between case 1, 2 and 3 is that case 1 and 2 both use the case 1 landing pattern where you fly around the boat and plonk yourself down after calling the bowl. On a case 3, you will come in as a straight in approach on what is called the final bearing. And this is the heading that the landing strip is on, not the BRC of the ship. So it's 11 degrees left of the BRC. Okay, so knock 11 degrees off the BRC and you'll have the landing strip final bearing, which will be given to you because you'll be stacking on the reciprocal of that. Which reminds me, I need to know the heading of the bloody ship now, don't I? Tits. Okay, I'm going to have to go back into the Ms when we finish this briefing. So, your approach to the ship, you've all done case 2, haven't you?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, super job. Right, so BDAF call, you're all happy with that. The
Turn the light
stack
on.
formula is your height plus 15.
No,
You will not be given
no,
a
why?
distance from the ship, you'll work that out yourself.
No, don't need
So
the car.
the stacks are from 6,000 feet to 10,000 feet. So as you can see here, the first 6,000 foot means plus the 15, he's stacking at 21 nautical miles. Then 7,000 feet, 8,000 feet, 9,000 feet, and 10,000 feet. So that is what your stack should look like on the final bearing. And if I can zoom in a little bit more, you'll see the ship on the far left. You'll see that the radial is off the landing strip for a case 3. Okay, so that's illustrated that nice and clearly. You're all aware of the pattern. It's a left-hand pattern, and you join it as you would jumping onto a kid's roundabout. So if you're coming from the south, you'll go on to the upwind leg towards the ship till you hit your distance at your height, and then you'll start a left-hand turn, 2-minute turns, 1-minute straights. Okay, and remember each time you come round, the ship at 25 knots will have moved on. So you'll have to stay on that upwind leg until you hit your distance again, and you'll make that distance up on each rotation so that you should roughly come out the same distance away from the ship each time. Okay. Remember, going into the stack, you need to be at altitude 10 nautical miles before you get to the stack. Any questions on that? Super job. Right. Okay, so everyone's aware of the BDAF call. The information you are going to get back tonight, you will get the weather, which is cloudy with a cloud base down to 2,000 feet with no strong winds or rain. Case 3 is in effect. The QFE is 2992. Sorry, the QNH is 2992. But you'll be on rad out anyway once you descend from the stack. So set your altimeters 2992 when you depart from Kataisi. The BRC is 326. So therefore the final bearing should be 315. Is that right? Yes, 315. I'm going to make a note of that myself. Right. So you will then be told to stack at an altitude on the such and such radial. So what's the opposite of 315? Someone clever?
135.
135, yeah. Okay. So we'll be stacking on the 135 radial, and that the reciprocal of that will be the final bearing. Okay, so the final bearing will be 315. Just make sure you don't go to the wrong end of the radial and stack in front of the ship instead of behind it. I'll see that happening anyway on the map as I'm doing air traffic, and I'll warn you. Okay, you will also get a commence time in the form of minute whatever. Okay, so whatever hour we're in, if I say minute 45, that is the time when you need to hit your 21 nautical mile mark on the upwind leg, which means cutting your holding pattern short if necessary, and hit that at your commence time, whatever minute I give you in that hour. Once you get once you get into the stack, don't forget to call that you are established so that I know that you're in the stack, etc. Now, it's a little bit hard for me to judge how long it's going to take you personally to work out and get into your stack pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you each a commence time that gives you at least 10 to 15 minutes to get into the stack and established before your commence time comes up. If it's looking like somebody's going to be left out there for quite a long time, because obviously I'm going to make a note of all of them, I will then change your commence time for you so that you're not sat up there for, 20 minutes going around in circles. Okay, so I'll reiterate again, the information you will need to receive and note is weather, case 3 in effect, the QFE or QNH 2992, BRC 326, final bearing 315, and I'll give you your altitude, so you'll have to work out your distance, and you'll be stacking on the 135 radial.
What
Your
response? Sorry, Abe. What response do you want from that?
From what?
When you give us that information, do you want us to repeat the information back to you, or do you want us just to say?
Yes, the numerical information needs to be read back so that I know that you've understood what you've been given. So I will expect from you, you don't need to reiterate the weather or case 3, okay, because that's understood. What I will need is I'll need for you to read back the QNH 2992, the BRC 326, the final bearing 315, and your altitude for stack on the 135 radial. Okay. Basically, anything with numbers in it, I need to have read back to me so that I can double check that you're going to put yourself in the right place. Once you're in the stack, don't forget, call established. Super job. Right. let's go to getting out of the stack. So your commence time comes up, and let's say you're the guy at 6,000 feet. You're going to say your commence time is minute 24. You find that you're coming down the downwind leg away from your exit point, and you've only got 2 minutes to get back to the 21 minute. Okay, so what you would do is you would immediately start the 2 minute turn to come back round to hit 21 nautical miles as close to your commence time as you possibly can. Okay, you'll then call Springfield 1 commencing, and you will start to descend at 4,000 feet a minute. You've got this in your HUD underneath your altimeter, but you've also got it as an instrument in front of your knees. Once you get to 5,000 feet, you'll make a radio call to me. Marshall Springfield 1 is at platform. You will then reduce your descent to 2,000 feet a minute until you get to 1,200 feet. Once you hit the altitude 1,200 feet, I suggest you switch to rad out. Ignore the QNH and the QFE. Is switch to rad out for an accurate reading of your altitude from this point onwards. Okay, so shortly before 1,200 feet, make sure your rad out is on. It only works from 4,000 feet downwards.
Aid.
Yep.
What speed are we doing in the descent down to 1200?
All speeds in the stack and the approach are 250 knots.
Roger.
This isn't a case 1 or 2 where you can go to 350 because you've got visibility.
No, 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 no. I'm just making sure for myself.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So everything, the speed limit is 250. Once you hit 1,200 feet, level off, and at 10 nautical miles, because you've got the TACAM running, you'll be able to see 10 nautical miles. You then need to get your gear, flaps, get on speed, trim to the E bracket, etc., and fly towards the aircraft, the carrier at 1,200 feet. When you hit about 3 nautical miles, you should intercept the ICLS cross at 1,200 feet, 3 miles from the ship. Remember, looking at the lights at the back of the ship, you're going to constantly be checking your HSI, and I suggest you have it on 5 mile range for maximum accuracy, that you are sticking to that course line, okay, which takes you on the final bearing. Once you get there, you should then see the lights of the ship. You don't want to see too much green or red, but you do want to see the amber laser light on the back of the ship. Okay, if you see the green, you're too far left. If you see the red, you're too far right. So it's the amber that you're looking for to guide you straight down onto the landing strip. Once you hit 3 nautical miles, you can make a call of bullseye, which lets me know you've hit 3 nautical and you're starting to descend. Just keep flying the ICLS cross in the VVI all the way down. And when you see 1 nautical mile from the ship, you should be able to see the ball. Cloud height is 2,000 feet.
Can you take her inside?
So once you get close, you can say Springfield 1, Hornet ball, and from then on, you'll be handed over to paddles.
Can you take her
If
inside?
I can cover both posts, if I don't get too busy, I will try and do the
Just take her
paddles as
inside.
well. Okay, but we'll do it on the same frequency.
Because then she starts roaming around.
Because otherwise I
Please.
can't control everybody else as they come in. Any questions? Lovely.
Because I'm
Everybody
flying
understood
and she
everything.
starts running around. Look.
Got a
Right.
great suggestion, which I don't know if Tom would agree to this. If Tom lands first, he might be willing to take paddles.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, if
He
that's what you
seems
want to
pretty
do.
good at it. Just a thought, Tom. I don't know. Obviously,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I can go first.
Okay, we'll have to set up a second frequency for that then.
oh, sorry, I've ruined it now.
No, what I'm thinking of is how's he going to do paddles and have SRS? He'll have to have the AWACS radio system up, or if he leaves his jet running, can he still use his radio if he's in the paddles position? These
Should
are
be able
things.
to. Yeah.
These are things I don't know.
I think if you're on a different view, you should still be able to hear all of you can still hear your aircraft alarms and stuff, I think.
Okay, right. In that case, when you get in your aircraft, stud 3 to 128. So you'll have 134 on box 1, stud 1 for Kataisi departure. You'll have 127 for the Marshal on box 1, stud 2. And you'll have 128 for paddles, and I'll push you to paddles when you hit 3 nautical miles. Okay.
Perfect.
Has everybody got those frequencies?
So
134.
Stud 2 was.
Stud 2 is already programmed, that's 127. And stud 3 for paddles will be 128.
Abe, just quickly, what's the call into paddles?
It's just a radio check. What will happen is you get 3 nautical miles, you'll call Springfield 1 is bullseye, and I will say, Roger, push to stud 2, contact paddles, and you will then contact paddles Springfield 1 radio check, and he'll go loud and clear, call the ball.
Roger.
Okay. When you can see the ball and you can see the ship, which might not be until pretty last minute, then you call the ball and paddles will guide you from there.
Roger.
Right. I don't think you use landing lights unless the weather is foul. So if it's foggy and misty and it's basically a blind landing, then you're allowed to put your landing lights on so paddles can pick you out. I think if it's a relatively clear night, but that's a decision we can make after Tom sees the first aircraft come in. Because if it's invisible, I'll then put a radio call out that you can put your landing lights on. As for the lights on the carrier, I'm not sure. Maybe they'll be on, maybe they won't.
One of us call into the ship, maybe.
Well, I've got to have another look at the MIS, so I believe there's a trigger you can put on which puts the landing lights on. So I'll have a quick look at that when I look at the MIS, because there's a couple of things need sorting out. Okay, is everybody happy so far? Super job. Right, I'm going to have to take the MIS down and kick everybody out and have another look.
Aid, it might be worth checking the ICLS and the TACAN that he's put a unit, assigned a unit to it as well, otherwise it doesn't work.
Right, okay.
It would be the unit name of the ship.
Yeah, bear with me. Right. Need to quit out of this. Right, the server's vanishing off. I should have just done this mission myself, shouldn't I, really? Okay, so... Mission editor. I've just clicked on the wrong button and shut down DCS. I've got to restart DCS. Yeah. Been a long, horrible, miserable day today.
Raining?
Yeah, those, you know, those really slate grey blue skies that you get when hardly any light comes through. It's not even proper full daylight. It's been one of those. It's been one of those. Case 3, Aid, dusk hours. The unit is named TACAN is also named. Okay, so ICLS is channel 1, as I said, and TACAN is 71 X-ray. What else did I need to know? I need to,
BRC.
yeah, BRC in the head. Just a flipping measurement tool.
And check the frequencies.
Yeah. Okay. BRC is 330. Yeah. 330.
So 319.
So yeah. Final bearing will be 319. Okay. So 330. That will be 150 rate. No. 150 radial.
139, isn't it?
Yeah, 129, final bearing 319, BRC 330.
So
Yeah.
if the BRC is 330, yeah. So
Yeah, the radial that you are stacking on will be 150. Okay.
BRC or final bearing?
Final bearing is 330, but the reciprocal of that, the opposite direction, is the radial that you'll be
Yeah,
given to stack on.
you said the BRC is 330.
Oh, fuck, sorry. Yeah. So, final bearing will be 319. Shit. Yeah, I've worked out the radial off the BRC. Twat. Right, so it's going to be 139 for the radial.
Just keeping you on your toes, eh?
No, I'm just. I should have just done it myself from the start. Trouble is, you know, like Will says, never lead a flight that you didn't plan. And it's they never brief of something you haven't planned. Okay, what else do I need off of this?
You know what you should have done, Ed?
I should have written it myself. Simple.
You should just change the time on the syllabus and chuck the syllabus one back up.
Well, the syllabus one's daytime. It's no good for case 3. Right. What else did I say we needed? Anything?
no, I think the BRC. You've got the TACAN. You've got the ICLS. Stud 1, Stud 2, Stud 3. They're all studded.
I was
Yep.
just about to say, could you
Well,
chuck
apart.
paddles-
You what?
I was just about to say, could you chuck paddles into stud 3?
Okay, I'll do.
And you have to do it on the once, didn't you?
Yeah, I'll delete the other 3 aircraft and put them back in.
No, I think if you just do it, if they're all on the same flight, it will do it for all 4 aircraft.
Well, it's done now. 128. Back to a flight 4. Okay, better save that. Okay, so radios are studied. We've now got the proper headings, etc. We should be good to go, shouldn't we?
Yeah. Did you want to change the time back a little bit to dusk or?
Well, it's up to you. Do you want to start in
No.
the dark?
Leave it as is.
Okay.
What about the new boys?
It's not raining.
Well,
Be fine.
they got to learn to start in the dark anyway.
Yeah.
Done it. We're pros at this.
Right.
Getting off the ground in the dark's the easy bit.
Okay, it's going back up. There we go, the server's up.
Is Tom going first? Yeah.
Yeah, put Tom in Springfield 1, make sure he takes off first.
Roger that. I'm going to go in 4.
Do me a favour, just put 2 minutes in between each takeoff, will you? it gives me
Cool.
a chance to. Because what happens is last time I asked people to put 1 minute in, and they took off, and they were, Will was at 580 knots and got there way before the guy that I'd planned to see first. So
Copy that.
if we can do 2 minute takeoff intervals, it will give me a chance to get everybody stacked properly and give me a bit of thinking space because I'm not professional air traffic.
Roger.
So, are we Springfield flight, not aerial flight?
Yeah, so you're Springfield on the radios.
Okay.
4's in the pit.
Yep, 3 in the pit.
Yeah. Did you sort the lights out as well, Aid?
Shit. I knew
I
there
think
was something.
no. If not, I
Fucking
think if Tom just does the call on the radio, I think maybe that will turn them on, won't it? Would that do the trigger?
It'd have to do it on 127.5.
if that's the frequency of the ship, and you would all have to do it, so because it only
If-
turns on when you're on the last part.
If 4 does it and he lands last, will that not leave him on?
My
Oh,
cache
okay.
is timed out anyway.
No, I've just shut it down. I'm going back into the editor and see if I can find this trigger that puts the lights on.
Rush, just while Aid's doing that, is it you didn't like the Pimax, or was it just too demanding on your system?
It's too demanding on my system, yeah. I've only got a 2080 Ti and it chugs away. It's usable, but I mean, it's much better with this one I got now because I can whack the graphics up a lot more.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. I'm thinking of just waiting until next year and hoping for the Pimax 12K.
Oh, I've just opened up the triggers, and there's switch condition, lights off, lights on.
Oh, he's done it then.
Well, it looks like it, yeah. Oh well, we'll have to trust Andrew because I've never seen these triggers before. They're new apparently. Okay, super job. I'll chuck it back up. Here we go again. I think I'm going to write a purpose-built Case 3 lesson biz that I can just put on the shelf and know it's right every time. Right, okay. Server is up.
Okay.
Is everybody in the pit?
Roger.
Yep.
Super job. It's unpaused anyway, so.
Roll left. Flight control. Flight control.
Request to transmit operator. This will do.
Taxi Springfield 4, taxi to runway 25, departure to the west.
Springfield 1-4. Springfield 2, then from the active. Taxi to runway 7.
Tassie Springfield. Tassie Springfield 4, taking to runway 25.
Springfield 4 Marshall, you loud and clear, help me over.
Loud and clear.
Marshall, Springfield 2 at 1004, 32, Angel 17, State 9.0.
Roger, Springfield 2, Marshall. Weather is low vis with cloud at 2,000 feet. Case 3 is in effect. QFE is 29.92. BRC is 330. Final bearing 319. Stack on the 139 radial at 7,000 feet. Your commence time is minute 27. Call when established.
QFE 29.92, BRC 330, final bearing 319, radial 1 139er. H7, commence time, minute 27, call when established.
Roger. That's now when I drop my clipboard.
Springfield 1 established.
Roger, established. Roger, Springfield 3, weather is low visibility with cloud at 2,000 feet, case 3 is in effect. QFE is 2992, BRC is 330. Final bearing will be 319. Stack on the 139 radial at 8,000 feet. Your commence time is minute 32. Roger, read back good. Call when established. Springfield 4, say altitude.
Altitude 18,000.
Roger, Springfield 4, weather at the carrier is low visibility with cloud at 2,000 feet, case 3 is in effect. QFE is 29.92, BRC is 330, final bearing will be 319, stack on the 139 radial at 9,000 feet. Your commence time is minute 38.
Roger, QFE 2992 at 330, 319 final bearing, 139 on the radial at 9,000 feet, minute 38.
Roger, Springfield 4, call when established.
Marshall Springfield 2 is established.
Roger, Springfield 2 established.
is established. Roger, Springfield 3 established. Roger, Springfield 1 commencing. Call platform. Roger, platform. Call bullseye at 3 nautical miles.
Bingo.
Roger, Springfield 4 established. Marshall, Springfield 2 commencing. Roger, Springfield 2 commencing. Call platform. Marshall, Springfield 2 platform. Roger, platform. Call bullseye at 3 nautical miles. Springfield Port, check speed. Roger, bullseye. Call the ball. Roger, Bolter, climb to 1200 feet and turn onto downwind when ready. Return to 3 nautical miles. Roger. You'll have traffic on your left on approach. Springfield 1 for Marshall. Call visual on inbound traffic when you see it. Springfield 3 commencing. Roger, Springfield 3, call platform. Wait 30 seconds and then turn in behind that traffic. Springfield 3 is a platform. Roger, platform. Call bullseye at 3 nautical miles. 3. Springfield 1 from Marshall. Did the lights come on at all? I don't think so. Roger. Could you actually see the landing deck of the ship? Not until about 300 feet. Oh, well, that's okay. As long as you're on the ICLS exactly, you will get the wire. Marshall, Springfield 2, bullseye. Roger, bullseye. Call the ball when ready. Be aware the deck lights probably will not come on, but if you fly the ICLS accurately, you will land among the wires. Roger. Hornet on the ball, 7.0. Roger, ball. Good luck. Springfield 4 from Marshall.
Go Marshall.
You're clear to commence on your next rotation, whenever that turns out. Springfield 2, call green deck. Marshall, Springfield 2, green deck. Roger, green deck. Springfield 1, you're cleared in, call the ball when ready.
Marshall, Springfield 4 commencing.
Roger, commencing, call platform. Roger, ball.
Springfield 4 platform.
Roger, platform. Call that bullseye 3 nautical miles.
Altitude.
3 nautical miles.
Roger. Roger, green deck, well done. Roger, bullseye. Call the ball when ready. Roger. Roger, ball. Roger, Bolter. Climb to 1200 feet, turn downwind when ready, go back to 3 nautical miles, and I'll rejoin you at 3. Roger, going back to 3, climbing to 1200.
Bingo. Bingo.
Roger, turn back on final bearing and make a second approach and call the ball when ready. 3. Be aware you have approaching traffic at 15 miles, so if you don't make it this time I'll have to shove you back round behind. Roger, stay safe. Roger, Bullseye, call the ball when ready. Roger, Ball. Roger, Bolter, climb to 1200 feet, turn to reciprocal, heading 139, and await instruction to turn back on the final bearing. 3. Springfield 3 from Marshall, you have approaching traffic on your left, call visual if you see. 3.
Springfield 4, visual on 3.
Roger. Thanks, Black. From Marshall, you're clear to start and turn back onto final bearing. Call at 3 nautical miles, bullseye. 3.
4 is bullseye.
Roger, bullseye. Call the ball when ready.
Forward deck is green.
Roger, green deck. Springfield 3's bullseye. Roger, bullseye. Call the ball when ready. Springfield 3, I've just lost you off the map.
Looks like we've lost Russ. Springfield 4 shut.